David R. Guttery is the president of Keystone Financial Group in Trussville, Alabama. David Guttery and Seth Edgil are financial advisors who represent Emeritus Investment Company, LLC, and Emeritus Advisory Services. Please stay tuned through the end of the video for additional important disclosure information.
Hello everyone, I'm joined today by Seth Edgil of Keystone Financial Group in Trussville to talk about an important topic, behavioral economics and personal finance. Seth, thanks so much for joining us today to talk about this. So what is behavioral economics and how does it relate to personal finance?
Thanks for having me. Behavioral economics is a fascinating field that blends psychology and economics. Essentially, it studies how people actually make financial decisions, not just how we think we should. While traditional economics assumes people are always rational and make decisions in their best interest, behavioral economics recognizes that emotions, cognitive biases, and mental shortcuts often lead us astray. When it comes to personal finance, these biases can have a big impact on things like spending, saving, and investing. Understanding these tendencies can help us make smarter decisions and avoid common pitfalls.
Well, interesting. So what are some of the common behavioral biases people tend to have when it comes to their money?
There are quite a few, but let me touch on some of the most common. One big one is loss aversion, which means people tend to fear losses more than they appreciate gains. Yes, one of the most well-known studies supporting the idea that humans are more likely to avoid pain than seek pleasure is the work of Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, particularly in their prospect theory. In their seminal 1979 paper, Prospect Theory, an analysis of decision under risk, Kahneman and Tversky demonstrated that people tend to be loss averse. Their experiments showed that losses are psychologically more impactful than equivalent gains. For example, people would prefer avoiding a $100 loss rather than receiving a $100 gain, illustrating that the pain of loss is stronger than the pleasure of gaining. This concept has been widely validated in subsequent research across psychology and economics, confirming that humans generally weigh potential losses more heavily than potential gains when making decisions. Then there's present bias, which is the tendency to prioritize immediate rewards over long-term benefits. You see, when people overspend on things that give them instant gratification rather than saving for the future. It's why some people have trouble sticking to a budget or building an emergency fund. Then there's herd behavior, where people follow what others are doing. This happens a lot in investing. When the market is booming, people jump in because everyone else is. The same goes for when the market dips. People panic sell. But as we know, this kind of emotional decision making can be detrimental in the long run.
I see. So how can people use the knowledge of these biases to make better financial decisions?
Awareness is the first step. Once you know that these biases exist and that you're not immune to them, you can create strategies to combat them. For example, if you know you tend to overspend on things you don't need, you can automate your savings so that money is set aside before you even have a chance to spend it. That way, you're reducing the temptation to give in to present bias. When it comes to investing, a good strategy is to have a clear plan and stick to it. This can help counteract herd behavior and emotional reactions to market swings. Having a long-term investment plan can prevent you from making knee-jerk reactions during times of volatility. And a professional financial advisor can really help keep you on track.
Well, speaking of financial advisors, how do you incorporate behavioral economics into your practice?
At Keystone Financial Group, we take a holistic approach to financial planning that's grounded in understanding our clients' behaviors, values, and goals. We recognize that personal finance isn't just about numbers, it's deeply tied to emotions and habits. So we start by getting to know what drives our clients, what their fears are, and what might be holding them back. For example, If a client is prone to anxiety during market downturns, we'll create an investment plan that is more conservative or includes strategies that reduce volatility. If someone struggles with saving, we might recommend tools that make saving automatic and less reliant on willpower. Ultimately, our goal is to empower people to make sound financial decisions while accounting for the human side of money. This approach helps clients avoid common mistakes and stay on track for long-term success.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So do you think technology like apps and financial tools can help with managing behavioral biases?
Absolutely. Technology can be a great ally in managing those biases. There are apps that can automatically transfer a portion of your paycheck into savings or investment accounts, which helps counteract present bias. Budgeting apps track spending in real time, making it easier to stick to financial goals. For our clients, we use tools like eMoney to develop a living, breathing plan so that we can update our strategy as the lives of our clients change. We use different assumptions to stress test the plan against potential challenges such as the loss of an income stream, bad performance in financial markets, or an increase in inflation, or a potential health event that results in the need for costly care. We use this technology to plan for spending goals, such as paying for a child's wedding or gifting your child a starter nest egg, for example. The key is finding the right balance between using technology and maintaining a personal touch. While apps are great, they can't replace the customized guidance that a financial advisor provides when it comes to navigating the emotional aspects of financial decisions.
Well, it sounds like the behavioral aspect of finance is often underestimated. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone just starting out on their financial journey?
I'd say start with a clear understanding of why you're making financial decisions. It's easy to get caught up in the mechanics of budgeting or investing, but knowing the bigger purpose behind your goals, whether it's financial freedom, security for your family, or early retirement, can keep you motivated. And remember, small, consistent actions often lead to the most significant long-term results. Don't underestimate the power of automatic savings, regular investing, or even just tracking your spending. These habits might seem small, but they help mitigate the behavioral biases that we all face and set the foundation for financial success. If viewers feel like they need to consult with professionals to begin getting on the right track, they should reach out to us to schedule a consultation.
Well, that's great advice, Seth. Thank you for shedding light on behavioral economics and how it plays such a big role in our financial lives. Thanks for talking with us today. And for additional information, Seth may be reached through the means listed upon the following screen. For the Trustful Tribune, I'm Brandon Dawkins.
David Guttery and Seth Edgil independently offer securities and investment advisory services through Emeritus Investment Company, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, and Emeritus Advisory Services. Information provided in today's segments is gathered from sources believed to be reliable. However, its accuracy cannot be guaranteed and should not be interpreted as tax or legal advice. Any performance stated is past performance and is not indicative of future results.